Barcelona just put five past Elche, and Rafinha looked really good through the middle. He looked really good. Adeyemi scored. Fermin scored twice. He scored a brace. And Anthony Gordon came off the bench with immediate impact and changed the game and injecting even more pace into the game, right? So yeah, we look good. And I'm looking forward to us continuing that momentum in this next game. But I'm not going to get carried away though, because this is just one match against a very inferior team, right? Which we were supposed to beat down. Elche was just a teaser, right? So Athletic Club is coming in, probably coming in hot. You know how they play. And tomorrow there are four things that I'm really watching for that could really tell us what we should be expecting from this team and how good this team could really be once we start gelling. Number one is the intensity shock that I'm looking for, right? So we started off that first game against Elche a little sluggish in the middle until Pedri came in to restore some order, right? I don't expect this game to look anything like the Elche game, right? But still, Ernesto Valverde's size always plays us hard, but the last few matchups have been in our favor mostly. They're gonna be physical, they're gonna press, they're gonna fight for balls, and they like that intensity. But can they keep it up for 90 minutes? That's the key. They're also gonna look for opportunities, during transition. Although they would have some pace up front, but we will see. I want to see how we react to that defense when they start putting that transition game on us, right? So forget about whether the score would be five or not. I don't expect it to be five. If we score five, then fine. But that's not what I'm looking for. I want to see what happens when Barcelona cannot get their rhythm or cannot get settled into the game. Can they control? Can they control and increase the intensity when they need to? Can they actually play through pressure? Can they control the second balls? Can they win the 50-50 balls? Or are they going to come out fighting? And when things get a little chaotic, can they compose themselves? Can we slow the game down when we need to and put those guys off kilter a bit, right? Because dominating when everything is going your way is one thing, but then when things get chaotic, it's another thing. So controlling a match when your opponent makes things uncomfortable is what I'm looking for. Can we control the game and change pace when we need to? That's the difference. That's the intensity focus I'm looking for. Rafinha at the nine. I'm looking forward to him scoring again, maybe even twice. And that brings me back to him. We need him to be the first line of defense, pressing up front. I like what I saw against Elche, the first man to press, because he wasn't really playing like a traditional number nine. He was a hybrid nine. So he was not just standing there between the center backs, waiting for the ball to come to his feet. He was moving the center backs around, dropping deeper, getting the ball, and even starting to play make through the middle at times, drifting into space to use his pace to get behind the defense, dragging defenders out of positions. I think that is what would make him a very dynamic nine. And suddenly, a guy like Fermin and Adeyemi could attack the space that he creates. So I want to see more of that. So tomorrow would be a different kind of test, intensity test. Let's see. Danny Vivian and Paredes are not gonna just let Rafinha get the ball like that. No, they're physical, they're aggressive, right, and they're gonna step into him whenever he tries to receive the ball. So him moving those guys around would be key. So I want to see what the next layer is. I want to see how Rafinha reacts to those kind of different defenders, right? And see how he plays those 1-2 quick combinations, right? And pull those center backs out of position. That is what I'm looking for, and immediately create space for the likes of for me, Adeyemi, and Yamal. I'm expecting him to play because if that works against Athletic, we are gonna have a field day. That's why this lineup I'm showing here right now, right? I expect just one or two changes. I expect Expart to keep his spot. Christensen to also keep his spot, but I expect Kubarsi to start though. And Eric Garcia, I do expect him to keep his right back spot. Bernal, I expect Bernal to still stay in, and Pedri, of course, coming in for Gavi. So our midfield should be solid tomorrow with more composure and more passing accuracy in the middle of the field. I expect Adeyemi to also be flying up and down the wings and taking on people. He brings so much of a different dynamic to this team. It's just crazy how much he's willing to take on people, unlike what we had in Rashford. For Fermin, I expect him to be aggressive and bring some more tenacity that he always brings into the game, right? And Rafinha, like I said, I expect him to move those defenders around to create space for this, uh, for the Yemi, Fermin, and Lamine Yamal, which I expect this to be a statement game for Yamal if he's feeling okay. I think he is feeling okay. I think he may be a little ill, but still, I expect him to have a good game. All right. So there is only two changes that I'm really looking forward to. I don't think um, Martin is going to start. I think Christensen would stay at the left center back, and Kubarsi comes in at the right center back. So we will see what happens, but I'm really looking forward to it. So, and the experiment of Rafinha would really be a good experiment tomorrow to see how he does really react. And Adeyemi starts and Gordon finishes. That is what we're seeing so far. It's only one game, but then we have one of the favorite. That is one of the favorite development that I really saw that I think Flick is going to stick with. Adeyemi starts and Gordon finishes, or vice versa. Gordon can start depending on the matchup, and Adeyemi finishes. Except, but I don't think this has to be a Gordon versus Adeyemi thing. I think it's just about the opponent, and that's how I think about it. So if he starts, the other finishes. If the other starts, the other finishes. Period. I mean, they both gonna bring pace to the team anyway. So it just forces the defenders to not rest because if they rest, you saw that pass from um, Pedri the last game to Gordon left the defender for dust. So maybe somewhere around the 60th minute, 70 minutes, Gordon might come in if Adeyemi has some tired legs, tired and heavy legs. But about an hour for Adeyemi again, I would say so. But if you see if you look over in the second half and Gordon starts to warming up, yeah, some pace is coming into the game anyway. So let's see. I want to see how Flick uses that dynamic. But this is the lineup I am really expecting, though. Gordon brings out the verticality and the pace. No resting. Press up front. Get those tired defenders' legs moving, and if they fall behind, you just hit them again hard. Bam, and that's it. So it'll be a nice 1-2 punch on that left side. I think that left side is covered. It is not a competition. It's just more of a. It just complements and adds on when those guys get tired. It's just wave after wave of pressing. Yep. That is what I'm liking for the left side. Pedri coming in for Gavi is one that I'm solid on. I think he will. And at some point, Rodri would come in for Bernal, is how you say it. Bernal. Rodri should come in for him at some point. So probably give him about 20 or 15 minutes. I think it'll be a nice feel for the Pedri and Rodri combo to see how they start gelling. But I am closely watching Pedri and see how he controls the ball and controls the tempo. Unlike the first half of the Elche game, it was just crazy because I know Athletic is going to be intense. They are going to bring the heat. They always like to press, but they always get tired at the end anyway. So I want to see how Pedri brings bring that ball control in when they start pressing and let them just chase shadows, man. And then Rodri comes in and kills them some more. So I am excited to see how Rodri adapts to his first game. Hopefully, we get 15 or 20 minutes from him. But we will see. But I know Flick is going to probably ease him into the game anyway. So let's see. I am excited. I want to see how this second game goes, and I want to see how we maintain that intensity and what happens when we lose possession at the in the first minute or so after we lose possession. Do we press and get the ball back, or do we sit back and and use our pace to get the counter attack? Okay. So, and also I want to see when Pedro comes in how he he is able to transition and protect the defensive line, because I know we are going to probably experiment a lot at home too to see how that high line works. And we will probably see it when those guys starts to press if they are behind, but I'm not sure yet. If we get 3 or 4 goals, then yeah, it's a wrap. I mean, even 2 goals, I would say it's a wrap after 2 goals. So the Iñaki Williams, the Nico and Iñaki Williams matchup, yes, they will have pace up front, but if we keep the ball, our possession is our best offense, it's our best defense anyway. So I expect Eric Garcia to start over Kunde, and I expect Espar to keep up his good form. Valdez might come in later on, but doubt I doubt that. We will see. I mean, Flick just spoke to him, so Kubarsi, I think it's time for him to start, getting back to his form, the post World Cup winning form. So, and I want to see how Yamal also reacts to this uh small criticism he is guiding us. He looked really off last game, so we will see. I hope these questions get answered, and I want to see how, even if we go behind a goal, which I hope not. Even if we go behind a goal, this is a game that we are expected to win. We are obviously the better team anyway. But how do we counter press their pressing? When they press and when we press back, how do they defend it? And if we see they tend to mess up or are gonna be messing up each time we counter press, oh, that's a wrap. Because as soon as we lose the ball, we press and get it back, we're gone. I want to see that directness continue. And I want to see the offside trap get coordinated nicely, even though we are playing at home. I want to see how we coordinate that offside trap, especially when Rodri comes in to provide that cover. So if we make the field small like we have always done, and we keep up the intensity and get the ball back, I do expect us to win this game by at least 3-0. We may consider goal, but with the way our intensity has shown that first game, I don't expect us to concede a goal. But with the high line, you never know. But I don't expect a 5-0 scoreline though. 3-0 at the very most four. I think the last time we gave them four anyway. So I don't expect four again, but at least a 3-0 score. Hey, I will take it. The 3-0 is 3 points. you know, that's if we get 3-0, 3 + 5, that's 8 goals, zero conceded. I will take that. But for now, let's see how we do. Love the team, baby. Looking forward to the game tomorrow. All right. Beastie out.